Known rocks are about 3.8 billion years old. It corresponds of 3 crore 80 lakhs centuries according to geologists and geophysicists. Our planet Earth is 4.7 billion years old. In this ancient time scale, evidences showed that the first life originated 2.5 billion years ago. Hence, from informative stage or early 2200 billion years, there was no life on Earth. Such a period in Earth history is known as Mesozoic era, 2200 to 5000 billion years ago. Evidences show that during this era, the Earth was a hard sphere. Gradually, the upper surface of the Earth cooled down. It results in solidification and formation of rocks and rocky terrain. Further, water molecules were formed, resulting in accumulation of water and water reservoirs. As water masses and land surface were established, these transformations provided a suitable condition for the origin of the first life. Once the life originated and established, evolutionary changes took place. Changes happened in the structure, organization, and living methods of organisms. Depending on natural surrounding and changes in natural surroundings, thus fauna and flora started flourishing on Earth. The water masses were fully exploited. Land surfaces were invaded by plants and animals. The geological timescale succeeding Mesozoic era was dramatic and rich in life. This period is divided into three eras. These were significant periods in Earth history. Of these, the oldest era was Paleozoic era. It ranged from 600 to 10 million years ago. Thus, its duration was nearly 390 million years. This era saw the origin and adaptive radiation of sponges, starfishes, snails, insects, crabs, terrestrialized amphibians, and reptiles. The Paleozoic era was followed by a middle period named as Mesozoic era. This era ranged from 65 to 210 million years ago. Its duration was 145 million years. During this era, among animals, the reptiles came to prominence. Hence, this era is known as Golden Age of Reptiles. Further, this era saw the origin and development of birds and reptiles. The period ranging from 65 million years till date is named as the Cenozoic era. This era is characterized by rapid evolutionary changes in mammals. This era is known as the Age of Mammals. Geological timescale. A geological timescale has been formulated by assessing the age of rock and rock sediments based on age and events. The ancient period from Earth's history. Era, duration, significance. Paleozoic, Mesozoic, Cenozoic. Earth's history is formulated into eras. First period, epochs. Each division in the geological calendar has clearly identified and demarcated incidents pertaining to Earth's surface. Plant and animals' life are neatly recorded. The influence of geology on the life and evolution of the living and or organisms had been well analyzed. Cenozoic, Quaternary, Tertiary, Pleistocene, Pliocene, Miocene, Oligocene, Eocene, Paleocene, Mesozoic, Cretaceous, Jurassic, Triassic, Paleozoic, Permian, Pensylvanian, Mesospian, Devonian, Silurian, Ordovician, Cambrian, Precambrian. Quaternary human evolution. Tertiary rodents were successful, mammals increased. Tertiary prairies were formed, horses evolved, carnivorous mammals were dominant. Tertiary Oligocene. Monkeys and apes originated. Tertiary horses originated. Pliocene. First towering plant mammals originated. Dinosaurs disappeared. Cretaceous. Dinosaurs became extinct. Jurassic. Birds originated. Modern bony fishes. Jurassic. Dinosaurs evolved. Mammals originated. Permian. Origin of reptiles. Pennsylvanian. Land living insects. Mesospian. Origin of amphibia. Land living insects. Devonian. Age of fishes, ferns, and cycas. Silurian. Jewed fish originated. Ordovician. First vertebrates. Jellyfishes. Bryophytes. Cambrian. Phyllophytes, arthropods, mollusks, echinoderms. Precambrian. Protozoans, porifrans, and annelids lived. Paleozoic era. This era produced revolutionary changes in the biosphere. Further, this era saw the origin and plant that remained as the forefathers for modern groups. Thus, this era is known as the cradle of ancient life. Cambrian period, 600 to 440 million years ago. The period preceding Cambrian is known as Precambrian period. During Precambrian time, simple algae, protozoan, corypans, and leads were well established. Thus, the Cambrian started with the plants and animals that were successful during Precambrian period. During Cambrian, among plants, halophytes were well established. These diversified into various groups: Chlorophyceae, Rhodophyceae, etc. Among animals, the aquatic arthropods and echinoderms came to prominence. The fossils and from several places. Ordovician period, 440 to 350 million years ago. This period was marked by formation of coral rocks and mollusks and echinoderms. Among plants, the semi-terrestrial bryophytes were getting established. Interestingly, this period saw the origin of first vertebrates. These were the now extinct Aneta, Jawless armored fishes. The origin of early vertebrates was a major event that happened in the evolution of animals. Among arthropods, the trilobites were more prominent during this period. Silurian period, 350 to 315 million years ago. The oldest land plant originated in this period. These plants possessed conducting tissues. They colonized the land among invertebrates except for insects. All other flourished. The corals diversified. Several coral islands were formed. Jet fishes originated. The fishes developed scales and ferret fins. For the first time, jaws originated in fishes. Origin of ferret fins and jaws is considered as a major event in chordate evolution. Devonian period, 315 to 275 million years ago. It is a significant period in the Paleozoic era. During this period, land-living plants were more successful. The forests were filled with varieties of ferns and cycas, non-flowering plants. Among aquatic animals, species became dominant. Thus diversified by adapting themselves to live in various aquatic ecosystems. The forefathers of almost all modern fishes lived during this period. Due to these reasons, this period is called the Age of Fishes. Mississippian period. Several changes happened to the land structure. There were massive uprisings of land in several places. This resulted in the formation of several mountain ranges. Huge water bodies were broken into smaller lakes. These major changes on Earth's surface were known as evolutions. Caledonian evolution. Such changes were the cause for the origin of lungs, and fishes' lungs evolved for purpose of living temporarily on land. It helps such fishes to find new water bodies. Such practices encourage the origin of the amphibians. The origin of land living amphibians were further increased by the proliferation of several land living insects. Pennsylvanian 255 to 235 million years ago, the land living forms became more successful during this period. There were huge forests of ferns and cycads. Due to the geotectonic changes, several forests got buried under the soil. Today, coal and petroleum are obtained from such resources only, hence, the Pennsylvanian and earlier Mesosphere were collectively known as Carboniferous carbon-bearing period. Permian period, 235 to 10 million years ago. It was the last period in the Paleozoic era. The period was marked by extinctions of several older groups of animals and plants. Nearly 60% of the organisms that survived at that time became extinct. Some of the amphibians dramatically laid land eggs, cladoid eggs especially. The group of organisms that laid such eggs are identified as Simoria. These are as interconnecting links between amphibians and reptiles. Mesozoic era. This middle period in the history of life was marked by prominence of land-living forms. Among animals, the reptiles became more. They increased in size and number, hence this era is named as the Golden Age of Reptiles. Triassic period, 210-160 million years ago. For the first time, fossils of turtles, crocodiles, and dinosaurs have been obtained from this period. Fossil evidences show that aquatic and flying reptiles thrived during this time. The mammals originated from reptiles during this period. Jurassic period, 160-130 million years ago. There was a marked adaptive radiation among dinosaurs. They diversified into carnivorous and herbivorous forms. The first birds originated from the reptiles. The earliest bird thus originated as known as Archaeopteryx. The origin of bird was major psychological change among animals from a more common phycothermic cold-blooded condition through feathers. The bird became homothermic warm-blooded. The modern bony fishes were diversified into several groups. Cretaceous period, 130-65 million years ago. The larger marine mollusks became extinct. The fossils of such organisms are available in places like Rialor of Tamil Nadu today. The dinosaurs of Mesozoic era abruptly became extinct during this period. Several reasons are given for extinction of the dinosaurs. Fossils and dinosaurs were not obtained from later periods. Cenozoic era, 65 million years ago till date. Plenty of fossils of organisms belonging to this era have been obtained. All modern animals and plants were represented in these fossils. This era is subdivided into tertiary and quaternary periods. Further, this era contains several epochs. Through fossils, we can trace the origin and evolution of independent groups of animals, camels, and men. Paleocene epoch. Modern mammals originated during this time. Eocene epoch. Ungulates originated. The ancestral form of modern horses lived during this epoch. Oligocene epoch. Several animals with ancient characteristics became extinct. Modern mammalian families were established. The apes originated during this epoch. Miocene epoch. Several varieties of grasses evolved in Europe and North America. Thus, large prairies were formed. These changes encouraged the evolution of fast. running herbivores, herbivorous mammals, and their predators. Thus, the carnivorous mammals came to prominence. Pliocene epoch. The prairies enlarged still further in several regions. The rodents became more successful. Pleistocene epoch. Several glaciation happened during this time. This epoch is popularly called the Ice Age. Of horses and men reached a final stage during this period. The melting of ice that happened 15 years ago is considered as the last stage of this epoch. Today, we are living in an interglacial period. Pleistocene epoch. Several glaciation happened during this time. This epoch is popularly called the Ice Age. The evolution of horses and men reached the final stage during this period. The melting of ice that happened 15 years ago is considered as the last stage of this epoch. Today we are living in interglacial period. Fossils. The fossils are preserved remains of animals, plants, and their parts found in various strata of Earth. Fossils may be of entire organism or a part of which got buried, a mold or cast. Footprints or imprints of a leaf on a stone. Fossilization. Fossils can result by several methods. However, accidental. There are many methods of fossilization. Petrification is commonest method, and this method dead and buried organisms churned into stones. This is due to formation of sedimentary rock underwater, while the soft parts of disappear due to decaying. Hard parts get preserved due to mineralization. The preservation happens in the origin strata. Petrification of soft parts. Under the certain condition, muscles and other soft organs may get mineralized and form rocky fossils. Several such plant fossils have been obtained. Preservation of footprints. Moving animals on mud can leave footprints. These prints, if left undisturbed, can get hardened and form rocky fossils. A study of such imprints can provide clues regarding the body, form, and characteristics of the extinct animals. Modes and costs. Fossilized modes are found in volcanic ashes. Several invertebrate fossils had been obtained as modes. They provide details about exact physical feature of the animal, fossilization in resins and umbel. Normally, acids get entangled in soft, sticky secretion of trees called resin. The dried material can get fossilized. These fossils can even reveal the color of the organism. Preservation in ice. Entire animal can get frozen and may preserve in ice. In such fossils, the body parts remain intact without change. Fossils of woolly mammoth from Siberia are classical fossils of this nature. Dating of fossil. The age of fossil to a large extent can be assessed accurately using radioisotope method. This is known that all elements exist in isotope. Isotopes are atoms having slightly different atomic weights, e.g. C12, C14. Some isotopes remain unstable. They undergo decay and release subatomic and beta particle. Still, they become more stable. Examples are uranium, potassium, carbon, lead, calcium, argon, carbon. The time required for breakdown of half the given quantity of unstable isotope is called the half-life. The half-life of many isotopes is useful to assess the age of rock accurately by measuring the ratio of unstable stable nuclei. For example, C14, C12 rock which the fossil was collected. Evolutionary significance of fossils. Fossils tell us the full story of evolution. Fossil studies reveal the course of evolution through fossil. The origin and evolution of specific groups of organisms can be understood. Harsh evolution 3. Fossil provide us clues regarding climate condition of various prehistoric periods. Study of fossils simplifies phylogenetic discussions. 5. Some fossils like woolly mammoth can provide vital clues regarding genetical makeup. Example of fossil. Ichthyostega, interconnecting link between fishes and amphibians. Semoria, interconnecting link between amphibians and reptiles. Archaeopteryx, ancestral form of birds. Dinosaurs, extinct group of reptiles. Hyracotherium, early ancestor of horses.